The following is a Just Green production.
Hello, everyone. It's the week of May 21st, 2018. My name is Taylor Cooper, and this might be news to you. What up, everybody? Season 3, Episode 19. Follow us on Twitter at MightBeNews247. That's MightBeNews247. Get at us on Facebook, SoundCloud, iTunes. Tell us what you think. Share, all that shit. Please. We're going hard this season. With me, as always, say what up, co-host Kev.
Yo, yo, yo.
What up, co-host Danny?
What's up?
CJ is back in the building. Say what up, CJ.
What's going on?
We got a big show tonight. We've been making a number of big announcements the past few episodes.
Huge.
It's all been leading to this.
Is this like the climax of the announcement?
This is the climax, the plateau.
I wasn't ready for this.
This is why I had to be here. I couldn't wait till...
Nobody's ready for this. Nobody's ready for this.
I told my wife I wouldn't climax without her.
So real quick, let's just have a little recap here, okay?
Okay.
Of some of these announcements that we've been making. Okay? Okay?
I'm ready.
So we got Might Be News Network, right?
Yup.
It's a thing now. It's going to be a thing.
Big thing.
So what's a network? Multiple things, not just one thing, right?
Yeah. I can't, dude, your hands.
I'm very excited, Kev. I'm very excited.
Motherfucker's got jazz hands
I moved things away from me. I cleared my space. Right now it looks like I'm trying to flag down a helicopter on a lost island, right? Might Be News Network. Then we got Might Be Sports with Kevin Reevey. New show.
I'm so hype about that.
We got Relatable Radio with the wives, Jackie, Amy, Allison.
Hold on. You got to do me a favor. You say that 5 times. Like...
Relatable Radio.
Relatable Radio.
Relatable Radio.
Relatable Radio.
Relatable Radio.
Relatable Radio.
It just feels good, right? It's relatable. I already relate to it. We got another big announcement tonight. The climax. This is a big deal. It's a big deal. Let's get some good news.
Hey, did you hear the news?
This better be good.
Want the good news or the bad news?
Give me the good stuff.
All right, so because we have so many big things going on and this is the climax, we're going to change good news up a little bit. Danny, you're okay with that?
You know what? I'm all right with it.
All right, because right now we have a guest on the phone. He's a filmmaker. He's an author. He worked on the CKY videos, directed the Haggard movie, worked on the Jackass movies, music videos, documentary producer, stuff that's been on National Geographic, the History Channel, and more. Everybody say what's up to Joe Franz. What's up, Joe Franz?
Yo, what's going on?
Hello, gentlemen. How are you?
Good, man. How you doing tonight?
I had a little disappointing news. We're in the end game, completing our graphic novel, the Brandon Novak Chronicles. It's all done, and I was doing the trailer, and I had a couple computer glitches that set me back 2 days. But other than that, I'm peachy keen. Just wasting 2 days of my life waiting for things to render.
You sound a lot more happier about this than you should be.
You should have seen me before.
Well, we have Franz on the line with us because we have a very big announcement to make on the Might Be News Network in the coming months. I'm going to be producing a show for Joe Franz and Brandon Novak called the Novak and Frantz Show. We're going to do a podcast.
Wait a minute. I thought it was the Frantz and Novak show.
I think Franz and Novak sounds a little bit better.
You think that you like that better?
I think Brandon Novak would have something to say about it.
Well, it's up for debate. But the point is that we're going to do a great show together. We're going to be producing it just and putting it out on the week with our weekly lineup on Might Be News Network. Very excited about it. A huge thing. And I just wanted to get our listeners a chance to get to know you a little bit, Franz. Got a couple questions for you just to kind of get some general information out there.
Yeah.
How long have you known Brandon Novak?
I met Novak when we were making CKY 3. So that was year 2000.
Okay.
And Bam introduced him to me as, this is my buddy Brandon Novak. He used to skate for PAL. Then he got addicted to heroin.
No shit.
Yeah, that was the first thing. And Novak's standing there, and I'm shaking his hand while he's telling me this. And to me, it was a little awkward. But then I realized it was Bam's intention to give Novak a break where Novak would have a chance to make a comeback as a skater. And I think in Bam's mind, by publicly outing him as a heroin addict, he was kind of showing the elephant in the room.
Wow. Yeah.
And yeah, so that's how we met. He disappeared for a little bit and came back when we made the movie Haggard. And he was living with Bam at the time, and he had a mean pill addiction. It was a secret, and we kept catching him in the act, and things were going missing from Bam's house: skateboards, wheels, trucks, merch, that kind of shit.
Sure.
All the pills from the medicine cabinet. April's purse wasn't safe, so finally he got sent packing back to Baltimore. He reappeared on season 3 of Viva La Bam. I mean, we're talking like 2 years later.
Wow.
And I saw him there, and I was like, what's he doing back? You know, and I was talking to him. He seemed kind of more clear-headed than he was, but I knew he still had a lot of problems. So, you know, Novak has always appeared and reappeared out of my life. There was a time. By the time he went to jail and did his 10.5 months in 2010, we weren't talking at all at the time. We wanted to make a sequel to the book Dream Seller that we did, which was a huge hit. And he was being extremely difficult. I couldn't get him to do any work with me. I couldn't get him, to sit down for interviews so that I could actually do the writing. And when he got out of jail, he hit a very, very dark place. And the worst it got was when he was on Bam's Badass Game Show. And it was so bad. When I would speak to him about I would bring up from time to time the possibility about writing sequels to the Dream Seller books, and he would get angrier and angrier. And at one point, he was threatening to sue me, and I was like, "What are you threatening to sue me for? To write your books for you?" And CJ, do you remember the one time when Novak said Novak called up CJ? CJ, maybe you better take this story about the you know what I'm after.
No, I'm
okay. So one time CJ, yeah, that's because CJ's dealt with so many
Novak moments.
Emergency
Yeah,
moments.
so
Yeah.
many.
So one time he calls up CJ. He's like, "Yo, get this, CJ. Franz thinks we have 2 books instead of 1.
Oh
What's his
yeah, I remember
problem,
that.
man?"
He
What's
was
up with
so
that?
pissed. He was so
Yeah.
pissed that you were going to write another book about him that he called me up and he was like, "What are we going to do about him? This is fucking bullshit."
Yeah, and CJ explains to him, "Well, Novak, 2 books are better than 1. You get twice the fame, you get twice the paychecks, and you hardly have to do any work because Frantz is going to be writing them for you.
Yeah, right.
Because whose side are you on, CJ? What the fuck?" So finally, when he hit his last rehab in the spring of 2015, I said, "Well, I haven't talked to Novak since he threatened to sue me and told me he hated me and all this other shit." So I said, "Well, I'm going to give him one last shot." And I showed up there at the rehab, and I'm looking around, and I was like, "Novak, where is everybody? Where's all your friends?" And he's like, You're it." And I was like, "Really?" Because that's pathetic, because you hate me. And that's how I met CJ, because CJ was his only other friend as well. And so over the weeks, Novak was on board with writing the new books, which is I love writing the books. To me, it's not about It's not about a paycheck because there is no money in it. No one's paying us to do it. If the books do well, I'll make a little bit of money. But it's to me, it's about the passion of the project,
Sure.
and about how many people it's helped. And so so as the weeks progressed, me and CJ got to be really tight, and we decided to to get together and do this thing. We have. I have the sequel to Dream Seller. It's 95% written. I just need to proofread it and touch it up a little bit. We have a graphic novel in the works, the Brandon Novak Chronicles. It is will be sent to the printers next week.
Wow.
Yep, I have another 2 graphic novels written and another 2 books outlined. So there's a lot of stuff.
So it's like it's going to be a series, basically. Yeah.
Yes.
That's very awesome.
Yeah. Well, I modeled it after, I was always a big graphic novel fan and comic fan, but not the superhero Marvel DC stuff. I always liked the indie stuff, Peter Bagg, Daniel Close.
Okay.
Those kind of guys, Harvey P. Carr and, Robert Crumb. And so I wanted to bring Novak's comedic and tragic tales to life. And some of the stories lend themselves very well to the book, but some of them didn't translate that well. And I was like, this is it. Like, these stories can be put in this graphic novel.
Right, because you want a visual to go along with it, right?
Some stories you need that.
Absolutely.
Some stories you can only describe so much, especially when you've had a life that Novak has. Some of it you have to actually see.
Right.
Well, I think, Franz, you and me understand it a little bit differently because we're used to his cons. We can understand how he puts on, but if I've been in conversations with people and I'm trying to explain a Novak con and they go, what are you talking about? So I'm there drawing diagrams of how Novak used to do cons.
So this show that we're going to do, it's going to be filled with a lot of, great stories that you guys have had over the years, right? What else can we expect from the Novak and Frantz show?
Well, one of the things I loved about it when you came to me with the idea of a show. Mm-hmm. And one of the things I get the most compliments on is my co-host work on Radio Bam.
Okay.
I used to think people hated me on there. And then once the internet came out, once, MySpace and Facebook and all that stuff really took off, I was getting flooded with compliments saying, Frantz, we love you so much. Your stories are really cool. And that was actually a big shock to me now that I was getting feedback. And so when you approached me with so over the years, I've entertained the idea of doing it all myself, but I can't possibly. I needed a great producer, and that's where you came in. And you said, yeah, and it sounded like such a good idea. And you and I are very like-minded, so you have the attitude where when something has to get done, you'll get it done.
Yep.
I've tried to team up with a couple people over the years, and they're like, "Oh, we're going to do this and that, and we're going to, they have grand plans, and when it comes down to time to do the work, they're nowhere to be found." But not a guy like you.
Well, thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah, and so one of the awesome things is this is a show where the fans are going to have a big hand in creating what the listeners hear. So the phone lines is going to be very important. So We'll probably kick off the show. Novak will have his updates, his news stories, and then we'll hit a topic that everybody can relate to. And between Novak's experiences and mine, we can relate to a lot of different people. I mean, Novak with all his in front of the camera work with Bam's and Holy Union, Viva La Bam, and and being a professional skateboarder and traveling the world. He has a lot of experiences. I've done a lot of besides being a filmmaker and a producer and cinematographer, I've also been an administrator at a prison. I've done drywall and carpentry and masonry. I was an instructor at the Art Institute. I was a waiter. I worked at I have a lot of experiences that were between me and him. We can relate to people in a lot of different ways, and we're going to hit the audiences with calling questions. Just stuff like some silly stuff. What was your most embarrassing bathroom moment?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
did you ever get accused of stealing something and no one believed you when you were totally innocent? That's happened to just about everyone, and there's some crazy stories.
Yeah.
Did you ever get a gift that you hated and you had to act like you liked it?
Right.
What was the most betrayed that you ever felt by a loved one?
That's a good one.
Yeah, stuff like that. And between our stories and the listeners' stories, we're going to have a great dynamic. It's going to be a really fun show.
That's great. Well, I can't wait for it. I think it's going to be awesome. What do you think, co-host Kev?
No, sounds great. I am excited to hear it.
Danny, you're excited?
Absolutely.
I think this is going to be great. Craig, what do you think?
I've been excited since I found out about it.
Craig's been doing a lot behind the scenes. He's the one who got me in contact with you guys, and I'm really glad that it's working out. I'm very excited for it. I got one more question for you that I've been dying to ask you. What was your favorite project that you'd say that you've done? And I guess it's a two-part question. What's like your favorite location as well? I guess that's part of the thing. Is like, what was your favorite thing that you've ever done creatively?
I think the new book, the Dream Seller sequel, and Haggard the movie are the two things I am the most proud of.
That's great.
Yeah, I mean, I've worked all around the world. I've been to so many great cultures and everything, and I would say my favorite place that I've ever filmed is Iceland. Iceland is a beautiful place. It's a wonderful culture, and it's so interesting to talk to the people there, their philosophies, how they run their economy, and also their gene pool is so small. It's weird. Like, we went there for one of the times I was there was for the Ryan Dunn Steve-O tour, and we kept needing different things, different props, like a bike, a skate ramp, all this stuff. And as we would go through the town, everyone was related to each other somehow, so they were able to pool their resources to get everything done. I mean, imagine just getting in a car whenever you need something and you just drive around till you find someone, and the first person you run into is someone you're related to, and you can ask them for a fucking favor. It's a crazy culture. You have to go to Iceland to really truly be able to experience it.
That sounds awesome.
Well, Franz, I know you probably saw this in the news. The dating app they have in Iceland to make sure you're not related to the person that you're starting to date.
Shut up. Seriously?
Yeah.
That's hilarious. For real.
Well, they're all related. It's crazy too. They all have the same male pattern baldness as well, I noticed. So I think that app is gonna be a complete failure, because they're gonna find out that they're all basically second cousin.
Yeah. It's hysterical. Yeah, what else did I wanted to ask you? So Dream Seller, the first Dream Seller came out in 2008, right? Was that 2008?
That's right. Yeah, late 2008.
Tell me a little bit about that process and the success of that project.
That was crazy because okay, so when we will make Viva La Bam, one of the skills you learned as an addict is how to keep people entertained and how to engage them. It's a very important junkie skill. And so when Brandon came to the set of Viva La Bam, he didn't have anything. He didn't have a home. He didn't have a car. And he didn't want to appear as if he was riding Bam's coattails. And so in between the shots and the scenes, he would keep us all extremely entertained by these unimaginable stories from just living on the streets of Baltimore. And I think it was April Margera who said, you should write a book. So him and Bam, Novak and Bam came to me and they said, I was like the only CKY guy with me and Rake are the only guys who went to college. Mm-hmm. And I had a lot of writing experience because I had worked in advertising and a couple other jobs. So they kind of recruited me to help Novak. And I said, man, I'm going to end up writing the whole goddamn book for Novak. No way. So I sat with Novak and I helped him do an outline. I used Joseph Campbell's Hero of 1,000 Faces character arc story, timeline arc as the model, and I helped draft his story. I remember I spent a whole fucking day with him, like 10 hours.
Wow.
And then I said, okay, now here's the topics I want you to write on, and I'll visit you in a week. So I came back in a week. I said, well, what do you got for me? And he said, I haven't been doing much writing. I was like, well, he goes, I don't know what to write about. I was like, well, where's the outline? He goes, I lost it. I was like, you son of a bitch. You wasted my whole fucking day. You're worthless. And I knew it. And fuck you. And a couple weeks go by. I came by the house and he's writing. And he goes, oh, here, I wanted to show you something. And he hands me a whole notebook full of, different paragraphs and different topics. And I said, what is this? And he said, what's the book? I said, I thought you lost the outline. He says, well, I found it. And I was like, really?
Wow, that's great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, now we're getting somewhere.
Progress.
So, yeah. So he wrote, I think he did about 60, 70 pages. And then, so I did a bunch of interviews with him and we created Dream Seller.
Wow.
And yeah, and I couldn't believe it. The book, when it came out, he went on Stern and it went into the 50 top sellers of all the categories in Amazon. Like it got up to the top fucking 50.
Wow.
Yeah. And, every year it goes up to number one in several of the different Amazon categories. It's a 5-star book. It has almost 350 reviews. So it's, everyone's been dying for a sequel. And it just, so it took since 2015 when he got sober to collect all of his stories and decide which ones were in this book and to write it. So, we're almost there. And I'm so excited.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It's great too, because I got in touch with Ryan G., Adam Wallachevich, and Roger Bagley. I mean, 3 top-notch photographers for action sports and skateboarding and pop culture. And they gave me the rights to their photos. So they're also going to have a 40-page photo spread of unreleased and very rare Novak photos. And one of the, a third of the book, Novak is actually on the set of Viva La Bam.
Wow.
Making people's lives hell. It was so fun to write.
I bet.
Yeah.
Now, did you have anything to do with Viva La Bam?
I was the cinematographer. I was the director of photography.
Okay.
So basically, I was the main film guy. Is a way to say it that people would understand.
That's awesome. That's very, very cool.
That used to be one of my favorite shows to watch on MTV.
Isn't that cool?
Love that show.
We're about to do a show with Joe Franz. Isn't that cool?
That is nuts.
Wild.
That is nuts.
I'm very excited, Joe. We're all very thankful that you're doing this with us, and thankful that you've been here tonight. It's been great talking to you. Is there anything else?
Thank you, gentlemen.
Where can we find you on Twitter, Instagram, stuff like that?
Joe Franz Rules, FRANTZ. Joe Franz Rules on Twitter and Instagram, and Joe Franz Films on Facebook.
Great. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Joe. I look forward to talking to you again real soon.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye, Joe.
Well, that was just absolutely awesome. I'm very excited about
It's
the
wild.
Novak and Frantz show.
I remember growing up, in high school, after high school, watching Viva La Bam and how much fun I had watching those guys. And
When I first saw the CKY videos, Craig, I got into CKY at CKY 2K was the first one that I saw. And once I realized that Franz was directing and filming all of these movies, like at that point in my life, I mean, I was in how old were we then?
We were young.
We were in like high school, like early high school, right?
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to do. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be Joe Franz, just filming my friends doing dumb shit. I thought it was awesome that these guys just did what they did, and it turned into something that was so big. I'm sure that they have absolutely incredible stories. I can't wait to hear them every week on our network.
It's going to be fun to listen to.
It's going to be absolutely incredible.
Going to be fun.
Absolutely incredible. Real quick, couple things, and then we're going to take a break. Come back with a new What's the Point in late review. Right? It's not a full social media rundown, but I just wanted to run down a couple things.
Thanks.
I'm going to skip over the Dave Matthews Band. All right, one thing about the Dave Matthews Band. The violinist got kicked out of the thing.
Peace.
You heard that?
Yeah.
Sexual misconduct. I don't know much about it. They haven't released much. But I'll tell you one thing. I've seen Dave Matthews twice, and he was probably the best part of the show.
He is.
So,
Like
Dave
touching little boys, or
I don't know what he was doing.
wow,
Some kind of misconduct.
something.
And it offended Dave. Apparently.
Don't offend Dave.
It was it was against the ex-bandmate. That's all they've released about it yet. Anyway, next thing. This guy, Aaron Schlossberg, the lawyer in New York that went viral this week for screaming at people in a place, some little eatery.
Yeah, this guy
speaking
just
Spanish.
threw his career down the drain in a matter of seconds.
I also want to talk about this lady, Dr. Jennifer Schottel, the lady that called the cops on the African-American gentleman for barbecuing in the park. You seen these things? The memes?
Oh,
All right.
yeah.
It's been a meme goldmine lately, people. Kanye, code red, right? This Jennifer Schottel chick, code red. Shit is amazing. All these memes are hysterical.
Just like putting her face on the phone in all these random pictures.
Oh my God.
It's just hysterical.
It's unbelievable. There's one of her calling the cops on the Black Panther in Wakanda. There's one of her like hiding in the corner of Dr. King's I have a dream speech, calling the cops.
There's one of her hiding in the White House, and there's a picture of
Barack Obama.
And Michelle hugging.
Yeah.
And she's in the background on the phone calling the cops.
It's amazing. But one thing that I just wanted to bring up, and like these people suck. I mean, what they did was dumb, especially the dude, Aaron Schlossberg. He was terrible. I mean, this lady was pretty terrible too, but Aaron Schlossberg is a real piece of shit. It's crazy how you can go viral and just so fast, in an instant. Like somebody just filmed these interactions happening, and literally within a blink of an eye, Twitter ruins their life.
Yep.
Like Twitter ruins their life. But see how that's crazy, because on the flip side, we're making other like stupid people famous for being dumb, like I don't know, whoever.
The kid from yodeling in the
the Walmart kid. Who the fuck is this kid? He's at Coachella.
Like, you kidding me?
He's yodeling in front of 100,000 people.
In the paint section at Walmart.
Stupid. He's working on an album. He's got more money than I do.
Good for him.
Cash Me Outside Girl.
It's cool, but like,
Dr.
yeah,
Phil.
exactly. She's up for a Billboard Music Award. Bad Baby is her name.
The internet is ridiculous now.
The internet is undefeated. It knows who it wants to win, and it knows who it wants to lose, and whoever that is has never either lost or won, depending on whatever the internet wants it to do.
Yep. Surprised TV's still around.
For real.
Like straight
I mean,
up.
this Aaron Schlossberg douche, he's a lawyer, and his law firm like got overwhelmed with 1-star reviews on Yelp this week. Like, his business is done. It's done.
Yep.
It's done. This lady, she went to Stanford. These aren't stupid people. These aren't stupid people.
Yeah, my favorite
They're just ignorant people.
My favorite part about her video is at the end when the cops come and she does the fake crying to the cops.
Oh, my God.
It's like, get out of here.
Oh, my God. It's ridiculous. One more thing. Michigan State is going to pay $500 million to Larry Nassar victims. Pretty crazy. Pretty crazy.
Nuts.
We're going to take a break. We're going to come back with What's the Point and late review. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Might Be News, Season 3, Episode 19. We got another special guest.
Another
special guest. Everybody say hello to Brandon Novak.
What's up?
What's going on?
Author. He's going to be the host of the Novak Frantz show that we're doing on Might Be News Network. Novak, how you doing tonight?
I'm great, man. Never better. I'm fucking sober. I'm not shooting heroin. I'm not drinking alcohol. I'm not sniffing cocaine. I'm not eating pills. Like, life couldn't get any better.
That's
Nice.
so awesome to hear, man.
First of
So
all,
awesome.
congratulations on that. I know that's a huge deal. That's absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
We're just talking to Joe Franz about Dream Seller and the sequel that's coming up and everything, and the show that we're going to be doing together. We're all really excited about it. I know that you guys are going to have a ton of great stories to tell and a lot of great stuff to talk about. We got a couple questions for you. First of all, what is it like being sober right now, and just and being able to reflect on the things that's happened to you over the years?
I always say that sobriety has given me everything that drugs and alcohol promised me.
Wow.
Wow,
So,
that's pretty
like,
deep.
That is deep. That is
That's very
awesome.
yeah, I mean, that kind of answered that in a short, quick, prolific, profound way.
Yeah. Very insightful. How
Yeah.
important is it to you to share your story?
It's more than important. It's like vital. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Right.
Because in this game of mine called recovery, sobriety, and the 12-step program that I work, you have to give it away to keep it.
Right.
You know, it's weird. Anywhere in the world, in any business form or fashion, if I give you something that I have, I'm to walk away with less. But in this world of mine, in this program of mine that I work, if I give you something that I have, I walk away with more. It's almost magical in a sense.
Wow. That's awesome, man. That's very, very cool. What's your best or most rewarding experience of sobriety? Like, since you've been sober?
First and foremost, giving my mother back her son, giving my brother back his brother, giving my sister back her brother, giving my nieces and nephews back their uncle, and giving people hope that were much like me, that were deemed unhelpable or unfixable.
Wow. Yeah.
Such an incredible answer.
That's awesome, man. We were actually just talking before we went on break, that I know for certain that CJ and I have been following you since the CKY days, watching the old CKY videos and stuff. And something that I wanted to know, how did you become a professional skateboarder?
By skateboarding.
Yeah. I mean, what was that experience like, becoming a professional skateboarder?
It was surreal, but there was never a question in my mind if that was going to happen.
Yeah.
The only question in my mind is when it was going to happen.
That's awesome.
You know, because the trait that I had then that I carried on in my later years in my drug and alcohol addiction was, despite any and all adverse consequences that came my way, I did what I had to do to get what I wanted to get.
Right.
So, like, there was no school wasn't important, plan B wasn't important, a trait wasn't important. I was going to be a professional skateboarder. I ate it, I breathed it, I slept it, I dreamt it. At 15, I was designing my pro model.
Incredible.
That's dope.
What was it like getting to know Tony Hawk? That's like my hero. That's like my hero.
Mine too. It was like a kid meeting Santa Claus.
Right. I bet.
Like, seriously.
I can understand that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
bet. They just
literally was. It
They
was,
just recently passed like the anniversary of him doing the 900, and like
Yeah,
I saw the
saw
video
that,
all over
yeah.
Facebook, and I was like, oh my god, that's just the coolest thing ever. Like, and
Yeah,
he's
I mean,
always been so humble and stuff. It's just so cool.
He just celebrated his 50th birthday, and he put out a video part 50 for 50 of 50 brand new tricks that he learned that are
He's
still
50?
groundbreaking. You know what I mean? Even when I see
Wow.
him now, it's still like I'm meeting Santa Claus for the first time.
I bet. That's so cool, man. That's so cool. Let's see what else. What's your favorite like experience working with like the Jackass situation, like doing Jackass stuff, CKY type stuff?
The friendships that evolves the memories that were created, the bonds that were formed. You know, we've all kind of went our own separate ways, but the thing is we made a serious impression in time at that time, and no matter how far time lapses from when the last movie came out to here and now, like, no one can ever take away those memories that we have, which were like, you know, surreal. Like you could try to explain it to somebody, but until they like experienced it, you know what I mean? It's kind of like maybe like losing your virginity for the first time, or your first fucking woman that you fall in love with, kind of thing.
Sure. Yeah. It's very cool, man. Well, hey, I know that you gotta get going. I really appreciate you being on the show. And
absolutely.
I'm really looking forward to this Novak Frantz show. I think it's gonna be great.
Yeah, man. We're about to embark on an endeavor that's like never before been done. You know, I'm always asked all the time, like, why don't you start a podcast? Why? And now, like, our dreams coming to fruition. And the cool thing about it is that Franz and myself are equally as excited to do it. And that really changes the game, because it's something that we want to do. You know what I mean? It's not like, maybe we should possibly. This is something that's been a long time in the making. So we have a lot of really fucking cool things in store. And yeah, man, I suggest, if you're interested in what we do, even if you're interested in not what we do, the cool thing with Franz and I is that we both are such completely different human beings.
Right.
We both literally have two different worlds, but our common bond it's a lot, but like the friendship, the filming together, the years spent together, good and bad. And then, you know, him working with I working with him on all the Dream Seller stuff, you know, we've kind of merged into each other's world. So it's going to be a lot of different, cool, fun, fascinating, fucking thrilling things talked about.
I'm so hyped. I'm so excited. I'm really, really honored to be a part of it. I'm glad that it's all come together the way that it has. When I first talked to CJ about it, it was just like this light bulb that just went off. Like, why aren't we doing this? You know, I'm trying to do more podcasts. I want people to hear more stuff, tell more stories. And I was like, who better to tell stories than Joe Franz and Brandon Novak? Like, I think that people would love to hear what you guys have to say, on a serious note or otherwise. I'm just super excited.
Yeah, we're like two completely different facets. Like when I was talking to you, you're like, all right, I'm going to ask you some questions and I'll shoot them over to you. I'm like, no, I don't want to know what you're asking.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, that's weird, because Franz wanted to know what I was asking.
We had like literally the opposite conversation, like right before I talked to you.
Yeah, like we're two completely different human beings. So it's rad.
That's great, man. That's great. Well, thank you so much for wanting to do a project like this. I think it's going to be a great and rewarding experience for everybody involved. I'm really looking forward to working with you.
Yeah, man. Likewise. Can't wait. It's going to be rad.
Thank you so much for being on the show. Oh, real quick, where can we find you on Twitter, Instagram, stuff like that?
Instagram is Brandon_Novak. Twitter is Brandon Novak, I guess. And Facebook is Brandon
Novak on Twitter.
CJ, Brandon_Novak,
Yeah.
Confirmed.
Yeah, CJ can fucking fill you in with that shit. I'm like the most computer illiterate person in the world. I can pawn them, but I can't work them.
Well, thanks again for so much for being with us tonight, Brandon. We really appreciate it, and we'll talk to you again real soon.
Yeah, man. Look forward to it. Thanks for having me, guys. Late.
See ya. Thanks. Well, that was Brandon Novak. This is huge, guys.
This is so fucking dope right now.
This is huge, guys.
Happening.
How crazy is
It's going to be great to hear the show.
First of all, we were just like, oh, yeah, we got this sports show coming out. We got the relatable radio, type thing coming out. And then we got now this.
Yeah? Fucking the Novak and Frantz show.
To hear how excited he is to be doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it puts
makes it more exciting for us. I mean,
I am so hyped.
This is a huge thing. Huge thing.
Boom.
real quick, I know we don't usually do this, but we're gonna take another break real quick because I just need to calm down.
All right.
All right. I
we'll
just
take
need
a
to calm
break.
down a little bit. It's been a busy show. We haven't had much time in between things. I just need to calm down a little bit. Okay.
Stop hyperventilating. Get the bag
I
out.
just need to
start
calm down.
raising the bag.
We'll be right back. Welcome back, Season 3, Episode 19. Follow us on Twitter at MightBeNews247. That's MightBeNews247. Get at us on Facebook and shit.
You feel better now?
Feel better now. You know, I decompressed a little bit.
A little more calm down.
A little bit more calm down. A little bit. Big stuff.
It's not big.
Kev, stop looking at me like that.
It's
Tell me
huge.
something.
Stupid.
Feel
You're
huge
stupid.
stuff.
Tell me, Kev, how does all this stuff make you feel on the inside?
Excited.
Explain excited. Like, how excited? Is it like borderline?
Like I want
don't-
to jump out of my skin, but I don't have a problem controlling it like you.
Like the first time you touch your first boob.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that where you're at with it?
Yep. Whole boob, like in hand.
The whole thing?
Yeah.
Oh,
Squeezing
wait,
it.
over the shirt or under the shirt?
Under.
Under the shirt.
Under the shirt.
Yeah.
Skin on skin?
Skin on skin.
Wow.
Booby touching.
Wow. That's where you're at with it? That's good.
Booby touching.
It's good. So what's the point? We're just going to skip intros again this week because you know what? We've already taken like mad breaks. I'm not trying to even waste any more time. Right?
Sounds good to me.
My point this week.
My point this week is. Go ahead.
No, you do it. You do it. You're so eager to do it.
Okay. A woman went bananas in a Tim Horton
She went bananas.
in.
Is that the headline or is that your headline?
That is
Sounds like-
the headline.
It sounds like
Wow.
a Dr. Seuss thing. Tim Horton went bananas.
Yeah.
in Langley, Canada. After a dispute with the staff, this woman proceeds to pull down her pants, lean up against the counter, poop on the floor.
What?
Pick the poop up with her bare hands and then throw it at the staff.
Oh my God.
I mean,
And then with her pants around her ankles, she waddles over to the napkins.
she wiped.
She wiped with the napkins.
at least she
and
wiped.
throws the napkins at him too.
At least she wiped, though.
Did this happen in the middle of the day?
Yeah,
Really?
dude, yeah, like,
Yes.
dude. So it wasn't the counter that she leaned up against. So the counter is in front of her, and then there's a walkway, and then there's a divider between like the seating and where you purchase stuff at. And she's leaning up against the divider, and this woman is standing over in the seating area, like her jaws just dropped, just like looking at this whole thing going down, like turds flying,
Wow. Straight flinging poop.
fling and poo.
Wow.
Dude, that kind of stuff happens in the zoo, not like fast food restaurants.
That kind of shit happens in prison.
Is there like video of this happening?
Dude, full on footage. Turds splatting
real,
the ground.
Craig?
Oh, wait
Let
a
me
minute.
see
Craig's
that.
got the video up.
It's turds splatting the ground. She picks it up with her bare hand and whoosh.
Wow.
It's only 40 seconds.
Where they're like cooking stuff and making coffee. Tim Hortons is like a Dunkin' Donuts.
Dude, you got to see this.
Right? That's like the equivalent of it.
She's sitting there screaming.
She's freaking out.
Like freaking out.
I wonder.
She's like, what do I do? What do I do? I go over there and get some napkins.
She's freaking out.
She starts to undo her shirt because it's tied around her waist.
There goes the
She
shirt.
pulls down her pants.
Pulling down her pants.
Yo,
She just pooped
She just dropped a
everywhere.
massive load.
Oh my gosh.
Picks it up and throws it.
Oh my god.
No way.
There she's wiping her ass.
Oh my god.
And it's over.
Yo.
How ridiculous is that?
I wonder what she was so upset about.
Dude, that's exactly what
Like,
I was
how
thinking.
have you ever been okay, all right, and I feel your pain on this. When you go to McDonald's and you say, I want a cheeseburger, ketchup only.
Yeah.
Or you go to Wendy's, get the junior bacon cheeseburger, only ketchup.
Yes.
When you open up that
Who
burger,
orders it with only ketchup though?
This guy. Me.
And this
I do.
guy.
Yes.
who doesn't
absolutely.
like ranch dressing?
Yes, you. You
Yeah,
don't like
yeah.
ranch. It's the thing.
So,
It's the thing.
yeah.
It's like a. It's
Calm down.
yeah. Yeah.
Calm down.
It's a.
So you
Alright,
order it ketchup
alright.
only. How devastated are you when you open up that burger and there's a pickle inside?
very.
Dude, it's so mad. But have you
Very.
ever been devastated to the point where you needed to go and poop on the floor?
No.
And then proceed to pick it up and throw it at the person
Yeah,
that
dude,
made
that's
your
like
burger?
dude, that was a triple threat. Like, she not only did she poop in public in the middle of their establishment, but then she had the gall to pick it up and throw it at them. Then number 3, she wipes and then throws it. That was incredible.
Yo, dude,
That was incredible.
No,
She
she
rolled
stormed
out.
off.
She probably wiped it all over the windows too. I'm an extra gangster. Wow.
I mean, that's enough
terrible.
to, dude. That's enough to show how displeased you are just to take a shit on the floor.
Yeah, it's incredible. I don't even.
I mean, I was a little upset one time, but not like taking a shit on a restaurant floor. Stopped at McDonald's and they have the crispy chicken snack wrap.
Yeah.
Those motherfuckers put ranch dressing on it. Yup.
So hold on.
Unwrap that
But
shit.
hold on. You're yelling at me for ordering my burger ketchup only, but you order your snack wraps without ranch.
It was a snack wrap.
They don't come with ranch?
It
I'm
was
sure some of them
a
do.
ranch snack wrap apparently, and there was ranch drizzled on it. And I remember unwrapping it, and I smell hit me. It's like, you motherfuckers! And I almost turned around and went back. But
You didn't
You
poop anywhere.
threw it
did you?
out the window.
No.
Danny, what's your point?
Laurel. I hear Laurel.
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 I hear Laurel.
Not Yanni.
I have heard Yanni.
Dude, that's
You've
stupid.
heard Yanni?
I haven't
I did
heard
hear
it
Yanni.
once. Haven't
See,
heard
now,
it once.
I was listening to it, and I heard some lady say, "I don't understand how people hear Laurel. It's not Laurel, it's Yanni." Like, it's fucking weird.
So it's a sound pitch thing. I did some research on it. It's a sound pitch thing. And what they were what they were saying is that younger ears that have taken less abuse can hear the higher sound wave that
Which
is Yanni.
Okay.
But ears that have taken abuse over the years and everything will hear Laurel because it's a lower sound wave.
It's dividing the internet.
It's dividing
It's like
the internet.
the whole dress situation again.
Yes.
the blue dress,
The blue or
and
the
black
white and
dress.
gold,
Yeah.
yep.
I hear Laurel, but I have heard Yanni. The way that I heard Yanni was I turned the volume down on my phone and I just moved it around myself, like just in different areas, and I heard Yanni a couple of times.
Wow.
It sounded a little different.
But only a little bit.
Yeah, but I heard Yanni.
It sounded completely different than Laurel.
And then you want to know something crazy?
What?
I actually listened to Yanni for the next 2 days because I went back and listened to Yanni. I do. My parents listened to Yanni when I was growing up, and I just went back and started listening to Yanni. Dude, he's such a G.
How much do you think his record sales went up because of this?
That's what I'm curious about.
They had to have shot up.
yeah.
I streamed Yanni for about 24 hours straight after that. At least the next day, I listened to nothing but Yanni.
I don't know who Yanni is.
Real quick, you
You
said
probably would recognize him if you saw him. He was real dope looking.
I saw your Instagram post.
You don't know him?
No.
so you said your parents used to listen to Yanni.
Correct. and Kenny G all the time.
Yo, I was just gonna bring him up.
Yeah.
Jackson Brown and Kenny G are two artists that my mom used to listen to, and I used to be like, I can't believe you're listening to this in the car. Now I find myself listening to their songs.
Yeah. Yanni. Listen to Yanni. My point this week, Netflix new documentary series came out, a couple weeks ago, Craig?
Yeah, about that.
Evil Genius. It's a 4-part documentary series.
Super dope.
Super crazy, man.
Insane.
Shit is a trip, bro. Like, it's a real trip. So, just to fill you in on this, in 2003, this guy walks into a bank to rob it with a bomb basically strapped around his neck.
So this is true story.
It's true story. This is like real shit. And the bomb, like, whole thing that it was on, it looked like something out of Saw. It was like a handcuff.
Yeah, a giant handcuff.
It was like a handcuff that goes around his neck with like 3 or 4 different locks on it.
Yeah.
Like they gave him like this huge packet, like instructions.
Oh, so this dude wasn't robbing the bank.
No, he was robbing the bank because whoever strapped this thing to him told him to do it or he was going to die.
Wow.
Dude, Kev, they sent him on this huge scavenger hunt around Erie, Pennsylvania, trying to find the keys to unlock his thing. And one of those keys was at that bank.
Get out.
Dude, that's the stupidest shit I ever heard.
That sounds dope as shit.
Dude,
it does, but why would somebody do that to somebody? They don't even get to see it pan out.
He was the pizza guy. He was a pizza guy.
Yeah, they got pizza delivered and they jumped them and put
like this remote location. He was like kind of slow, like real, just like gentle guy, but like kind of slow. Lived in like this tiny little shack kind of deal right behind somebody's house, like just real, like. You'll find out through the whole thing he was into prostitutes and all kinds of other shit, but like it's a wild, wild thing.
Oh man.
And the people that were behind it are a fucking trip, man. It was great. Like me and Jackie watched it real quick. It's 4 episodes, like they're like 48 minutes or something a piece. And like the guy who made the documentary was like following this story. He was like living in somewhere in New York City. And he was following the story on the news and like some major development happened. And he's like, I'm leaving right now. Like, I'm going to go solve this case. And he essentially does throughout making this thing. It's crazy, dude.
Yo, I'm going to have to check this out.
When did this happen?
2003.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. The main person it follows is this lady. And she is a trip. She's a trip.
So this is actual footage of the real people.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. I'll have to check that out.
At the end of the first episode, spoiler alert, they show you this dude blow up.
Yeah.
We were bugging.
Well, now I don't want to watch.
No, you do.
Because it
You do.
puts you to this perfect point.
That's literally what it just sets it up. Like, he's sitting there surrounded by cops because they realize he's like, I have a bomb. They said this is a bomb. So they all back up, obviously, like way far away from him. And he's like cool, calm, and collected, just sitting there. And he's like, somebody help me get this off. Like, I'm not lying to you. And then all of a sudden the thing starts beeping. And he starts kind of freaking out a little bit.
Yeah?
Yeah, dude. It was
then I'd be shitting my pants and throwing it.
Dude, because he didn't know if it was real or not. Like, he didn't know what the fuck was going on. It's very, very nuts. You guys should watch it like this weekend.
I'll probably go home and watch it.
It's you'll like it. You'll like it.
No, you won't. You're going to turn on The Office.
It's harder for him to turn on The Office, though, since it's right there on the front page. It's
Right.
a big advertising.
It's always like, continue watching The Office? Well, sure.
Late review, Kev. What do you got?
Training Day. This movie came out in 2000. It's a little more than, or 2001. I'm sorry. It's a little more than 2 hours. Great Denzel Washington flick. Like, great. The character that he plays, the dirty cop, is just amazing to me. I would have to put this his second best performance, right behind Man on Fire.
Okay.
Right behind Man on Fire. If you have to think about that one.
Yeah, because I'd put The Equalizer up there above both of them.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Hands down.
if I was going to rate this movie, I'm going to give it like 8.75.
Wow.
8.75.
Okay. Danny, what do you got?
Netflix series again. 13 Reasons Why. Reviewing this one because today in our time space continuum, it is May 18th, and season 2 came out today. Have you guys seen 13 Reasons Why?
Yes.
I have not.
You
I
have
haven't
not.
either.
It's depressing as shit.
So it takes place in high school. It's about a female in high school that takes her own life, and she makes a series of tapes, and she goes through the 13 reasons why she took her own life. It is sad, depressing, but at the same time, it kind of opens your eyes to the whole thing. Like, you may be affecting somebody, but not even realizing that you are.
Yeah.
It's something that I suggest all high school kids watch, but at the same time, I even said this to Allison when we were watching it. It almost glorified suicide. And that's one thing that worried me about the whole show. But it is a show that I would suggest high schoolers watch because, it really could, change your perspectives on a few things.
Is it about a real person or is it
No, I don't think it's real. I don't think so.
Is the second season, it can't be following the same chick.
Yeah.
It is?
Yep.
Huh.
Yep.
It's pretty interesting.
So I'll give it a 9.
Okay.
I mean, it was a great series.
Very interesting. I've thought about watching it.
It's one of those shows where you get sucked into it because you want to know what happens.
I'm watching that 7 Seconds right now. Netflix original. It's really good so far. I'm like halfway through the first season. There's only one season of that. This week, it was like a toss up for me because I've been listening to a lot of music recently.
Like Yanni.
What's that?
Like Yanni.
Yanni. A lot of Yanni this week. It's been very relaxing, honestly. It's been nice. So I was going to review one of my favorite Miguel albums, but I'll save that because Anderson .Paak just came out with a new single, which I believe is going to be on his new album. It's called Bubblin', and I love it.
I listened to that track you tagged me in. I like his funk more than like his hip hop.
Yeah?
if you will. Yeah.
Did you watch the video?
Yeah, I did watch the
I
video.
feel like the video like makes the song better.
It was good, but I definitely dig his funky style more than his hip hop style.
Well, that's what I'm going to review now is Malibu, which is the album that you're aware of, Kev.
Okay.
Malibu came out in 2016. It's his second solo album. And Anderson .Paak, for those of you who do not know, just has a very interesting style vocally. The only person I could really compare him to, like certainly when he sings more than raps, is closer to like a James Brown type of vibe, right?
Yeah.
Like real loud, real raspy, real just like just very interesting. And he's super talented. I saw that he did a Tiny Desk session for NPR.
Yeah.
And I wasn't aware, but he plays the drums while he sings and raps all this stuff.
Which is wild.
Wild. Very cool. And Malibu is an album that he did, unlike his first album, which was more produced. And it sounds like this new one is going to be kind of more produced as well. But Dr. Dre is going to be involved in this new one, which is going to be awesome.
Oh, yeah?
But Malibu, back to Malibu. A lot of like more like songs with a band type vibe. I give this an easy 8. Easy 8.
Nice.
Maybe on like the right day it'd be a 9, but right now it's an 8. Very strong. Some of the best tracks on there. The first song, The Bird, Put Me Through, Am I Wrong, featuring Schoolboy Q. Let's see. Come Down is really good. The Dreamer featuring Talib Kweli. It's just a great album. I suggest you check out Anderson .Paak if you've never listened to him. He's very, very good. What do you got for this week in history, Kev?
May 20th, 1978, Mavis Hutchinson became the first woman to run across America. 3,000 miles.
Wow.
Took her 69 days. May 22nd, 1992, Johnny Carson hosted his last episode of The Tonight Show. May 23rd, 1934, Bonnie and Clyde were killed in a police shootout. May 24th, 1935, Major League Baseball's first night game was played in Cincinnati against the Cincinnati Reds. Who were they playing?
I don't know.
Your Philadelphia Phillies.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
I don't know if they were called the Phillies in 1935, though.
Might have been the Oakland A's.
Gotcha.
Or was it the Athletics?
Yeah,
the
something like that.
Athletics.
Yeah.
Philadelphia Athletics.
Yeah.
Well, very cool. Very cool.
Say peace out, Kev.
Say peace out, Kev.
See ya.
Say peace out, Danny.
Peace out.
Real quick, a couple of shout outs. My boy Semi just dropped his third installment in his Tuxedo and Backpacks mixtape series. You've heard Semi a couple of times on this show. Musically, we've played a couple of songs of his. He's got a new mixtape out today. Go check that out. Check it out on his SoundCloud page. Just search for him, Semi Team Loco. Find him on Instagram. All that stuff. It's very good. Very, very good. Also, real quick, our boy Leo at Leo Copper Art has been running a special. He was given a very special price for a social media makeover to 10 people. He's down to one spot left, people. So holler at Leo Copper Art on Twitter, Instagram. Look for him. He does a great job. He does video intros for Twitch accounts, banners, profile pictures, logos, all that stuff. Holler at Leo. He's got one more slot left for a very, very special price, so get at him. Craig, thank you for being with us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Huge shout out to Joe Franz and Brandon Novak. Real quick, it was a great show tonight. Awesome having them on here. I'm very excited for the Might Be News Network, Might Be Sports, Relatable Radio, the Novak and Frantz show. Might Be News, people. It's big. It's getting big.
Huge.
So excited for what the future has for this show.
What'd you say, Kev? Huge.
Huge.
Jesus.
Great job tonight, guys. Very good. This is a very professional show, if I may say so myself.
It would be more professional if you weren't on it.
Wow.
You know what makes it professional is the phone line.
Phone line is huge.
The phone line is so awesome.
So big.
So big.
Jesus Christ.
Huge.
All right. Thanks for listening to us, guys. Follow us on Twitter at Might Be News 24/7. That's Might Be News 247, iTunes, SoundCloud. Peace.
Say peace out, Taylor.
Peace out.